それでは川崎フロンターレ長谷部監督です。前戦はアウェーの地で終了間際に追いついてこのホームに戻ってきました。この2戦目を迎えるにあたってその点どのように捉えていますか？
前向きに捉えています。
その中でこの準決勝進出が決まる2戦目だと思います。今日選手たちにはどんなことを期待していますか？
ホームで、勝つことだけ、それだけ考えて、入っていこうというふうに話しています。
そのホームで勝つためにポイントになることどんなところだと捉えていますか？
これまでの公式戦と同じように簡単に失点しないように、もちろん勝つためには得点が必要なので、得点を相手よりもより多くより早く取りたいという気持ちがあります。
相手との直接対決では、3戦連続で引き分けという形、最後勝ち切るところどんなことが大事になってきますか？
アタッキングサードもしくはディフェンディングサード、そこのゴール前の質、防ぐ質、取る質、そこが大事になってくると思います。
その中で準決勝進出をサポーターも待ち望んでいると思います。非常に多くのサポーターが詰めかけると思いますが、その存在応援というのは監督ご自身はどのように捉えていますか？
これまでもいつも助けてもらっていますが、今日も頼りにしてますし、選手たちの背中を押していただきたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。期待しています。それでは浦和レッズマチュイ・スコルジャ監督です。前線ホームでは引き分けてこのアウェーの地に乗り込んできました。その点も踏まえて今日の試合のポイントを聞かせてください。
In my opinion, we played first game in the good way.
1戦目は非常にいいプレーができたと思います。
We created more chances to score more goals than only one, but of course our efficiency we have to improve in this today.
チャンスはたくさん作ったんですけれど、得点は1点のみでしたので、その部分は改善点だと思っています。
And we have to keep intensity and focusing until the last whistle of the referee.
そして、試合終了のホイッスルが鳴るまで高い強度を保って集中力を、保ち続けないといけないと思います。
タイトルへの戦いだと思いますが、そのタイトルへの思いというのを聞かせてください。
For Levain Cup? Yeah, of course. We are in quarterfinal, so now we are thinking only to go to semi-final. This is our very big target now during this season. So today we will do our best to go there.
本日は準々決勝戦いますけれど、まずは準決勝に進むことだけを、考えて戦いたいと思います。このルヴァンカップは、我々にとって今シーズンの大きな目標の一つとなっています。
ありがとうございます。期待しています。
15番ディフェンダー27番ディフェンダー神橋亮太
late drama of the first leg between these two 4 days ago is still fresh in the memory. That 95th minute equaliser from Tatsuya Ito means it's winner-take-all here at the Todoroki Stadium as Kawasaki Frontale and Urawa Reds, both winners, former winners of this competition, renew rivalries. Both were direct entrants into the quarterfinal stage of the Levain Cup. Kawasaki made the last 4 last season, and Urawa, well, they've won this tournament twice. But they let that late goal slip, having led from midway through the first half in the first leg. And their coach knows that they have to be better tonight. They have to play all the way to the final whistle. Said they created plenty of chances in that first game, but unfortunately they couldn't come away with the win. Two captains here are going to read a short message. Hoibraten and
on behalf of Urawa Reds,
Zaka.
we pledge to play with full effort, respecting our opponents and the referees, while following the rules and competing fairly. Through today's match, we hope to bring happiness to many people and contribute to building a peaceful world. Marius Hoibraten, Urawa Reds.
ありがとうございました。続いて川崎フロンターレ松坂靖子選手、よろしくお願いいたします。
川崎フロンターレを代表して、私たちは差別や暴力、誹謗中傷を許しません。お互いを尊重し、フェアプレー精神を持って誰にとっても楽しめるスタジアムを共に作りましょう。川崎フロンターレ選手代表脇坂泰斗。
A nice message from both captains about respect. It's a big part of the game these days. Let's hope the game is played in a good spirit. That first game 4 days ago was played in an excellent spirit for both these teams. It was a hard-fought battle between these big rivals. And the fans that have turned out here in Kawasaki for the second leg will expect nothing less from their teams. As the same effort in the second leg. Urawa Red Diamonds in a change strip of white tonight. Ishikawa coming back in goal. As always, brilliant atmosphere. It was a great atmosphere in the first leg at the Saitama Stadium 2002. Here's the teams. 3 changes for Kawasaki from that first leg tonight. Asahi Sasaki moves to centre-back with Saiban Vermasgeren coming back in for the injured Jessel. Yuki Yamamoto, Tatsuya Ito, who came off the bench to score that late equaliser, and top scorer Tengol Erison also come back into the starting lineup. Marcinho will move out to a wider role on the right of the front 3. Tashi Banada and Ten Miyagi both drop out of the starting 11 down to the bench. Yusuke Arake is our referee tonight. He has been involved in finals in the past involving both these teams. Very experienced FIFA official. VAR helping to back up any decisions from the referee. I don't actually remember any VAR decisions they had to make in that first game, so let's hope it'll be another quiet night for the men looking at the monitors. Well, Urawa once again make multiple changes, 9 in fact, but it's more like their last J-League outing. Regular keeper Nishikawa comes back in goal. Matthias Hoibraten, who went off in the first leg, has recovered and will be partnered by the man that replaced him in that game, Danilo Boza. Hoibraten and Naganuma are the only 2 that started the first leg. Matthias Savio came on in the first game. He starts, as does Hiro Komori, who scored 4 times in his last 6 J-League games. Shigetoshi Hasabe is the Kawasaki Frontale coach. Would have been delighted with that late equaliser. Man, we heard him beforehand on arrival. Maciej Skorza disappointed with his side, but emphasising they should have scored more goals. They have to be more economical in front of goal, and they have to play right to the referee's last whistle. He emphasised that in that pre-match interview. Both sides will go in their familiar 4-2-3-1 formations. It's Urawa, all in white, that get us underway, kicking from right to left in the first half. A place in the semi-finals of the Levain Cup up for grabs. This was the closest of the 4 quarter-final matches, all played 4 days or so ago. Big win for Kashiwa Reysol, wins for Yokohama FC, and Shonan Bellmar, who beat Sunfreeze Hiroshima 3-2. First shot of the game straight at Tebo, who made 1 or 2 important saves in that first game. Early effort from Komori, who is back as the central striker tonight. So 4 goals in his last 6 J-League appearances. Here's Kaneko. Komori, the intended target once again, just a little too far ahead of him this time. Particular save in that first game to deny Nakajima a second goal of the game from Tebow, a fingertip save over the bar in the second half. Nothing he could do about the goal. It was a brilliant goal. Captain Sakin playing the ball over the top, Nakajima with a finish. Both those players on the bench tonight for Urawa. Kawasaki have been in good form. 4 games unbeaten now, 2 wins, 2 draws after that 1-1 4 days ago. Uramovic, busy at the back, good player. 2 foreign centre-backs for Urawa tonight, Danilo Boza and Matthias Hoibraten partnered together. They've only missed 1 league game playing together this season. In a regular central defensive partnership, Namoto came in, Kenta Namoto, in that first game. Followed by Naganuma. With only 2 survivors in the Urawa side from that first match. It's going to run through to Tebo. Neck and neck in the league at the moment, these two. 8th and 7th respectively, just 2 points separating them. Both sides back in league action next weekend. There's that early shot from Komori, but straight at Tebo. Tricky carry to Komori. They did score twice against Yokohama. First season back in Japan, should I say. Been playing for St. Troidens in Belgium. That's the intended target once again, but it'll comfortably run through to Umas Kerkeren, the man born in the Netherlands. Kawasaki on the charge once again. Lovely run. It comes off the defender. I think Ishikawa just managed to keep that, preventing from going for a corner. Thought he was going to have a quiet day on the bench in the last game, Danilo Boza. He ended up coming on after 34 minutes when Marius Hoibraten picked up an injury. He has overcome that injury. Not so fortunate Jessil, the Brazilian defender for Kawasaki Frontale, who seemed to have done a hamstring in that first match. Here's Wakizaka. Turn from Ito. He came on at half-time and added a real injection of pace in that first game. Scored some vital goals coming off the bench for Kawasaki Frontale in recent weeks. Matsumoto. Hoibraten. It is much more like the side we're used to seeing in the J-League from Urawa Red Diamonds this season. Shisaku, the goalkeeper, has missed only one league game. Make those 9 changes for the first leg, and it almost paid off for Maciej Skorza. They were literally just 2 minutes away from a 1-0 win, but you just wonder whether 1-0 would have been enough anyway. These sides have drawn their last 3 meetings, so they've always had close encounters. If it finishes level tonight, we could be in for a period of extra time, and who knows, even penalties, but a long way to go before we have that to consider. Both sides will want to get the job done inside 90 minutes. Taken short to Marcinho, who was unceremoniously dumped to the ground. Challenge from Kaneko, just caught that trailing leg of Marcinho, who is back on his feet. Harrison, the man to watch tonight for Kawasaki. Second season, he's reached double figures this season for the first time in his career, the centre forward. Uramovic. Kawahara. Just playing the ball between them at the moment. No rush here for Kawasaki Frontale. They're a very methodical team. They don't like to play rushed balls if there's nothing on for them. Asahi. Former midfielder in his day, Chigatoshi Hasabe, played for Verdi Kawasaki. Only 15 games for the club he now coaches, Kawasaki Frontale. Played for Vissel Kobe and JF United Ichibara. Full season at the club. He's doing pretty well so far. They're not too far away from the top of the league, despite the fact they're down in 8th place. Kyoto Sanga currently leading the J-League. Whereas Hoybroughton, long ball forward again, it deflects off Miura to Kaneko, who just loses his footing slightly. Won back by Marcinho. Nice touch from Wakizaka. Harrison on the chase, but that will beat him into touch. There's another player that comes into this in form, Harrison. 4 of his 10 goals came in the last 2 matches. He scored a couple in the 5-3 win over Machida Zelvia around about a week ago. Shisaku under a little bit of pressure there. Harrison was just trying to catch him out, and he's rushed the clearance. And well, Maciej Skorza applauding, but he'll be glad the goalkeeper actually got rid of the ball, because Harrison was just bearing down on him. A little bit of a rushed clearance in the end from Shisaku. Marcinho nicely taken down. Yamamoto. Kawahara. Unorganised Urawa. Tough to break down in the first leg. It was a late goal that was their undoing. It's a good ball in from Harrison. Brighton claiming that should be a goal kick, but the referee will give the corner. You see what a threat he is, Harrison, when he gets the ball inside the penalty area. analysed these days. It was a goal kick, in fact. Both these clubs Tokyo-based, of course. This is Kawasaki in the Kanagawa prefecture, south of Tokyo, just alongside Yokohama. Incidentally, Kawasaki's next league game is against Yokohama Marinos, just a short journey for them. So Tama is more in the greater Tokyo area. Wonderful stadium, of course, that was one of the showpiece stadiums for the World Cup back in 2002. Long raking ball over the top once again, but Luis Thibaut Yamaguchi, to give him his full name. He was born in France, French father and a Japanese mother. His opposite number, Shusaku, very much Japanese. Wermuskirkeren. Buramovic. Fans just urging their side to try and keep Kawasaki pressed back in their own half. 12 minutes have gone by already. The only shot on target, that shot from Komori, which was straight at the Kawasaki goalkeeper, is Ito. Long ball over the top again, looking for Erison. Shusaku had to head that one away. He was just outside his penalty area. It's almost following a similar pattern to the first leg. Very competitive and some nice passing through midfield, but just in the final third, everything just breaking down for both teams. Bit of space here for Matsumoto to work with. Just ball to pick out the run of Naganuma. Space to go on the edge here for Matias Savio. Get the shot in though. Better from Urawa. Kaneko. Header away by Asahi Sasaki. Still the pressure on though. This is the best spell of pressure we've seen from Urawa Reds. By Yasui, now Kaneko. See the drop of the shoulder, trying to get that reverse ball from Matias Savio, getting it back. He has changed his boots actually, Kaneko. He started with red boots, but he did slip a couple of times over on that far side, so they did water the pitch quite heavily just about 15 minutes before kick-off once the warm-ups had finished. Danilo Boza back to Shisaku. Goalkeeper returns the favour. Under pressure though. Was he Lakizawa? Was he brought down? Yes, he was. Penalty. Well, it's clumsy from a defender of his experience, Danilo Boza. Got it back from Shisaku, but he was under pressure from the Kawasaki captain, Yasuto Wakizaka. A chance for Kawasaki Frontale to go in front. He said he won the ball, but there was no touch on the ball. You can see from here, he's nowhere near it, and it's a clear penalty. Easy decision for the referee, no need for any VAR intervention. Danilo Boza will be bitterly disappointed that he and Shisaku have messed that up between them. But a real chance here for the home team to go in front on the quarter hour. Straight away. are just having a look, but I'm pretty certain that they'll just reinforce the referee's decision. Certainly no touch on the ball. He was persistent and he was repaid for his efforts. Yasuto Wakizaka played almost 300 games for Kawasaki Frontale. Player that's been at the club all his career. Waits, nervous wait for both goalkeeper and penalty taker really in these VAR checks. I was pretty sure that there was a contact, certainly from Danilo Boza. The referee had an unhindered view. He is a top official, FIFA official. Harrison will be the man, I think, that's going to take the penalty once they've had a look at it and confirm the decision. Was in charge for Kawasaki's 2019 win over Sapporo, and I think they have given the penalty, so it took a while, but the referee's decision is upheld, so a chance for Kawasaki Frontale to go ahead here in the second leg and ahead in the tie. And it is the man who's got 10 goals in the J-League this season that has a chance to put his side in front against Shusaku. Fans behind the goal doing their best to make life difficult for Harrison. Set the chest, Harrison. Here he comes. Little stutter in the run, high into the corner. Really well taken penalty. And Kawasaki Frontale take the lead here in the quarter-final second leg. Well, he's been in fine form all season, and if you've got a penalty in a pressure match like this, that's what you need. You need someone with a clear head, someone with a goal-scoring head, and his goal-scoring record continues. 5 in his last 3 matches now. And there was the error from Danilo Boza. And it was clumsy. This is as good a taken penalty as you'll see. Hammered into the back of the net, sent Shusaku the wrong way. Kawasaki lead by a goal to 0 and 2-1 on aggregate. It's Urawa's turn to try and get themselves back into the match. Forward by Yasui, there was a high boot which went unpunished. Harrison on the chase again. Naganuma loses out once again. The Brazilian working really hard. Naganuma gets back across. Harrison away with the ball and tries to bend it into that bottom corner. He almost found the run of Wakizaka in the middle as well, but a brilliant strike from Harrison. Great persistence to eventually get the ball away from Naganuma. Looked as though the defender should have been odds on to get that ball, but it's a poor touch. And once he checked back here, he had the space. And well, when you're scoring like he's at the moment, there's only one thing on your mind, that's trying to get another goal, and he almost bent that into the bottom corner. Certainly missed in the first leg. Did lack that cutting edge up front. Kawasaki Frontale, they looked a little bit brighter in the second half when Ito came on. Well, the home crowd are enjoying the efforts from their team at the moment. It's the 56th meeting between these two teams. Kawasaki have run 20 of the previous 55. But they've got the edge here as well of 29 games here in Kawasaki. They've won 11. There's been a lot of draws between these two teams, though. Yasui. Matsuo. Naganuma. Mattia Savio. To try and build things from the back once again. Long way to go, of course, in this game. Did win the J.League Cup in 2016. Urawa Reds beat Gamba Osaka in the final, 5-4 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. And that win in the tournament as well was quite significant because it got them into the Suruga Bank Championship, where they played the winners of the Copa Sudamerica in a one-off game at Stadium Saitama. They played Chapecoense from Brazil, winning 1-0. Competition though hasn't been held since 2019. I presume a victim of the COVID pandemic. Players will come across for the drinks break in the first half. 30 degrees and 70% humidity, so hot conditions for the players. That challenge again. It was a poor touch from Danilo Boza. Pressure though from the captain, Wakizaka. There's the contact. Just that left leg catching the knee of Wakizaka. And then Erison dispatching the penalty past Chisaku. Not intimidated by those Urawa fans behind the goal. Scored 2 against Mashida Zelvia in a 5-3 win. Scored 2 against Nagoya Grampus in a 4-3 win. It was important games as well because it ended a poor run in the league for Kawasaki Frontale. They'd drawn 2 and lost 2. They'd drawn 1 and lost 2. Also got knocked out of the Emperor's Cup by J.League 2 side Sangamihara on penalties. Marcinho tried to weave his way through, but there were too many white shirts around him. Managed to get a half shot away, which was blocked behind for the corner. But another goal for Kawasaki really would put them in the driving seat. Marcinho did score in that game against Mashida Zelvia in the 100th minute, in fact, to seal a 5-3 win. A little bit nervy in the final stages of that game at 4-3. Wakizaka to take the corner. Ito. Sort of a shimmy on top of the shoulder. Good ball across. Everybody missed it. Still not properly cleared again. The shot comes in from Wakizaka, who collided quite heavily today with Kaneko on the side of the head. Just split all those dark shirts in the penalty area. Wakizaka, what you could do, just clattered into the back, into the side rather of Kaneko. No damage. For the corner, Uramovic is forward. Soto Wakizaka once again will in-swing this in towards Shisaku. The head of Hoiberg Zito. Yamamoto, dangerous looking ball in. Oh, just managing to scramble that one clear, but the pressure's still on. Ito, really tricky when he gets to that byline. He's won another corner for his team. He's featured in 26 games in the J-League this season, but he's been on the bench for a few of them. But his impact tonight from the start has been exceptional. Two defenders with him there, Matias Savio and Matsumoto. And he eventually won another corner for his side. And that one comes to nothing. Off the head of Asahi. For Komori, couldn't get the shot in, and in the end it was Asahi that just managed to get his body across and did enough. Just wouldn't quite sit down for Komori after that long ball. The referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge that time. There was no appeal from Komori either when Asahi came across. Skirkin. There's that incident again a moment or so ago. Lovely take from Kaneko, and he spotted the run of Komori, and it just wouldn't sit down for him there, and it was a good block in the end from Asahi. Got a shin to the ball to take it away from Komori. This is a competition that's been running throughout the season. 60 teams started out. These two teams were two of four teams that qualified directly for the quarterfinals by virtue of Urawa's participation in the Club World Cup this year, and Kawasaki Frontale, because they were in the AFC Champions League Elite last season, along with Shonan Belmar and Sanfrecce Hiroshima from Yokohama Marinos, rather, and Vissel Kobe. Good defending. Uramovic solid in the challenge. It was a heavy touch though from Kawahara, but then a lovely ball out to Marcinho, looking to run here at Ishihara. Trying to slip that one across to Sito Wakizaka. Good challenge Yamamoto to win things back for Kawasaki. This is Erison. Deflection, another corner. Well, this is good pressure from Kawasaki at the moment. They're keeping Urawa pegged back in their own final third. I'm sure this is what the coach would have wanted. Causing problems. Kizaka with the corner. Defending again. Everybody back behind the ball though, so this will be easy for Kawasaki to try and restart things again. Kizaka, lovely little flick off to Kawahara. Kizaka's ball in again, away by Ishihara. Miura. Ito. So Urawa have had more possession at the moment. Kawasaki have the lead though. Erison's penalty. Second spell at the club for Maciej Skorza. He's in charge in the 2023 season, but then left the club after the season because he wanted to spend more time back in his native Poland with his family, but was persuaded to come back again for this season after a disappointing campaign for Urawa last season. Matthias Hogmo was the man who was in charge for the 2024 season. Only 13th in the league, their lowest finish in a number of years, and prompted them to make that change and bring back a man who guided them to the Champions League. With a free kick. Well, we only saw one yellow card in the first game, coming pretty late in the game as well. They were asking for a yellow card there for Konecko. He kept his cards in his pocket though. It's another late challenge, and well, the referee might have to get a grip on this. It's bent in again, looking for the run of Ito, but straight through to Shisaku. Matthias Savio, lovely ball, bent around the fullback for the run of Matsuo. Ibrahimovic prevents the corner. Only missed one league game all season. Yusuke Matsuo. Most of these outfield players have got themselves on the score sheet. Urawa are very good at finding goals from different positions and from different players. They don't rely just on one player to get them goals. Situation to be in for the coach. They need a goal from anywhere at the moment to get them back into this one. The throw was really fired in there by Yatsui. And here's Matthias Savio, Marcinho rather. Still going Marcinho, twisting and turning, and eventually just ran out of steam and had the ball taken away from him by Ishihara. He just couldn't get it into a shooting position. Harrison, just a little bit over exuberant, may have taken a knock in the process, but he was penalised for the challenge. Just overuse of the arms as he tried to win that loose ball back. And he's just there bundling Naganuma to the ground. The Urawa fans and players not convinced here that Erison is actually injured. You saw the indication there to the referee, you are adding time on for this. They haven't had far to come, those Urawa fans, but it'll seem like a long journey home if they don't come away from with something from the game. Club that breeds success, of course. Former AFC Champions League winners on 3 occasions, beat Al Hilal in 2021. Won their first J.League Cup in 2003. Been a long time since they've tasted J-League success though. 2006 was the last time they won the top flight. Well, Erison's still down. He hasn't received treatment yet. Play seemed to continue around him. And the referee's saying, I think, to the captain, Wakizaka, look, he's not injured. If he needs treatment, he needs to go off. I want to get the game going. And Hoy Bratton probably agreeing with him. Now the medical staff will come on. famous great Japanese midfielder Shinji Ono began his career at Urawa Red Diamonds. Great servant for them, went on to play all over the world. He was a real stalwart for the national team. And here's the incident again. There's the overuse of the arms from Erison. I'm not really sure where the contact came from Naganuma. Players taking every opportunity here to take on some water. It's very warm, very hot. 30 degrees at the moment. Waiting to come back on. Urawa back on the attack, looking for an equaliser. Forward by Yasui. Komori. Kaneko. Great ball, plenty of pace on that cross once again, but couldn't connect with the white shirt in the middle. Good defending again by Kawasaki. There's Erison straight back into the action. Left in there by Yasui. Referee saw no foul on Ito. This is better from Urawa. Their best spell of the game in terms of possession, you feel, towards going towards the Kawasaki goal in the final third. I'd love to try and get something back before half-time. Yasui. Kaneko. Ishihara taking on Marcinho. Managed to get the ball across, came off Yamamoto, and eventually Kawasaki get the ball away. Erison up against the two central defenders. Danilo Boza came out on top on that occasion. Naganuma. Hoibrad. Matthias Savio. Increasing their percentage possession without really causing too much trouble to Tebo's goal, and the goalkeeper takes that one comfortably. A little scoop over the top, which didn't find its intended target. 6 minutes to go, just a fraction over to half-time. There will be a little bit of added time for a couple of injuries that we had, and the VAR check, of course. Erison's penalty separating these two teams in the quarter-final second leg. Kawasaki Frontale leading 2-1 on aggregate. Matthias Savio. Yasui. Naganuma. Kaneko. Lovely ball, Naganuma. He's getting in each other's way on the edge of the box. Yasui was just coming onto that. Danilo Boza's shot comes back to Naganuma. Oh, he nearly didn't go for goal, but they have found a way through. It's offside, though, it won't count. Well, surely Naganuma should have been looking to shoot himself. Instead, he's played it to Komori, who was in an offside position, and the goal won't count. They were just getting in each other's way. They were queuing up on the edge of the box. Well, he's onside there, Komori. It's Naganuma, in fact, that was offside, not Komori. So Komori was onside. It was when that initial shot came in from Danilo Boza, pushed straight out by Tebo, but Naganuma was in an offside position. Nothing wrong with that ball. Nothing wrong with Komori's positioning, but it won't count. Firmus Kirken. Ito. Firmus Kirken's continued his run. Ito. Yamamoto. Going in search of a second goal before half-time. Ito, lovely ball. Wakizaka gets to the byline. Good defending though from Hoiberg to shepherd that behind. Such a tricky character, Ito. He's got that ability to just drop his shoulder and that little bit of an injection of pace to get to the byline in behind defenders. Zaka involved as well. Team played a pivotal role in that first game. Kawasaki corner. Movement. Good defensive header to clear the ball away. Wakizaka. Miura. An unnecessary clearance really, because Komori was under no pressure, maybe didn't get a call from his goalkeeper. It was just a hopeful ball in really from Wakizaka, and he's won inside another corner, which is more than they could have expected from that ball. Uramovic stays forward. Still fairly new surroundings for Uramovic, who only joined the club last month. Miura. Floated high and too high over the top. Well, it was a frustrating first leg for those Kawasaki supporters until the 95th minute, that is, when they got the equaliser, but it's been better for them now, having scored that early penalty after a quarter of an hour. But they have been under a little bit of pressure since that goal. Here's Yasui. Looking for Matthias Salio, couldn't bring the ball under control. It's almost fallen for Komori, who had that goal disallowed a moment or so ago. Kaneko floated in again. Komori's header. He's well wide of the target. He just couldn't get his body shape right to give him the angle there, Komori. More frustration for those in red. He's just ahead of the ball, Komori. Last spell in Japan was in J.League 2 with JF United Chiba. A spell in Belgium before returning to Japan for this season with Urawa. Pressure keeps coming. Again, comes to nothing. To added time at the end of the first half. Been a great first half. In terms of competitive action, 7 minutes to be added to the first half after that VAR check and the injury to Erison. Wakizaka, Marcinho. Kawasaki's turn to play the ball around. I wonder what the tactics will be. Obviously their coach Shigetoshi Hasabe is going to find himself in a similar position that Matthew Scorza did in the first game, but it's the first leg that the game plan is often different with a two-legged affair. They know that a 1-0 win is good enough to see them through, but they also know that Urawa have a threat going forward. Foul against Marcinho, who's offside. In fact, Marcinho just strayed the wrong side. And 2-0 cushion would be nice, but their game management could be all important. Plenty of substitutions, I'm sure, from both teams in the second half. Kawasaki just in the driving seat at the moment. Semi-finals, by the way, are on the 8th and the 12th of October. So all 4 games played to a conclusion tonight. It's a lovely touch from Ito, taking the ball nicely into his path. Erison in the middle. Oh, he showed too much of it to Naganuma and then brings down the defender. Clumsy from Ito. A lovely touch there just to push the ball into his path. And it was that touch there that showed too much of it to Naganuma and then Trip earning the foul. The final of the Levain Cup on the 1st of November. Kashima Antlers are the most successful side in this competition. 6 wins and 3 runners-ups. Tokyo Verde have 3 wins, a couple of wins for Urawa Reds. There's Kaneko. Lifting forward again, and it's a better ball in, but again, Matsuo just cutting in, could only help the ball on its way, and the pace on it a little bit too much there from Matthias Savio. Over it to deflect the ball down, but it was a lovely weighted ball. Just needed to get over it a little bit more there, Matsuo. He's scored 4 goals this season. Scored in the Club World Cup as well in a 3-1 defeat to River Plate earlier in the campaign. Played the last quarter of the match 4 days ago. Strong challenge from Erison. Yamamoto. Marcinho. Kizaka. Uramovic. Romaskirkin goes all the way back to Tebo in goal. Ito has got the better of Naganuma that time. Kawahara. Marcinho arriving at the back post, but the ball will beat you into touch. Just overhit it slightly there, Naganuma and Kawahara, sorry. It's to the skies in frustration. It was the right idea because Marcinho was ghosting in at the back post. Just a little bit too far ahead of him though. Coming together with Miura, who's stayed down. It's gone for a corner, came off the defender. Satoshi Hasabe in discussion with the fourth official. Certainly seemed to be contact from Kaneko. Danilo Boza, who had that shot earlier in the half but led to the disallowed goal. That time, too many players to try and get through from the set piece, comfortably gathered in by Thibaut. Kawasaki were runners-up in the AFC Champions League last season, Champions League Elite. Japanese clubs have such a wonderful record in that competition, and they're 45 minutes away from booking a place in the semi-finals of the Levain Cup. Urawa's penalty after 15 minutes, after a mistake at the back, let them in, and the VAR check proved that the referee got the decision spot on at half-time. It's Kawasaki Frontale 1, Urawa Red Diamonds 0, 2-1 on aggregate to the home team. Welcome back to the Kawasaki Todoroki Stadium. Teams just emerging for the second half. Urawa Red Diamonds in a similar situation to Kawasaki Frontale in the first leg, finding themselves trailing at half-time. Looks like they are making a change at the start of the second half. The man who scored the goal in that game to put them in front, Nakajima, is going to come on. Certainly lacked a bit of a cutting edge in front of goal in that first half. So a little comparison chart at half-time that Komori had about half the touches of Erison, the man who scored the goal for Kawasaki Frontale. Double change it is. Matthias Savio has gone off. So too has Matsumoto. So the two of the midfield players gone off. Nakajima coming on. Also Shibato coming on as well. And Shibato, who did start the first leg along with Nakajima. And Nakajima scored that lovely goal, having latched onto that through ball, or that long ball rather, from the captain Sakine, who's only on the bench tonight. And then almost had a second, a fingertip save from Louis Thibault at the other end, denying him the goal. So we're underway, second half. All in black tonight, Kawasaki Frontale. Erison's 18th minute penalty is the difference between the teams on the night, and the difference on aggregate 2-1. Kawasaki Frontale lead as they look to bid, or they look to get to the semi-finals of the Levain Cup for the second successive season. Came through against Ventforet Kofu in the quarter-finals, but were heavily beaten over two legs by the eventual runners-up, Birex Niigata. 6-1 they lost out in the semi-finals last season. There's a lovely touch and finish for the goal in the first game. He's travelled around a lot, 12 different club that he's played for. Urawa, spells in Qatar, Turkey, the UAE. Just the one goal in the league this season. He has been restricted to just 9 games in the league, Shoya Nakajima. Coach obviously deciding he could be the man to turn Urawa's fortunes around in the second half. Kawasaki made 3 changes to the opening game. I suppose the headline change really was the last man you saw there, Erison. 10 goals in the J-League, penalty here. Urawa back to a more recognisable J-League lineup for them tonight, having made 9 changes for the first leg. Urawa are 4 without a win against Kawasaki. The last 3 games between the sides have all ended level. Here's Marcinho. Forward by Kawahara. Here he is again, Kawahara. Ito. Muskirkin just popped up in front of Shisaku, but fairly comfortable for the goalkeeper. Played at a few draws in this competition as well over the years. Met here in the J-League Cup back in April 23. That one finished 0-0. Then in 2021 they played 2 games, a 3-3 draw here in Kawasaki, and then 1-1 in Saitama. In fact, Urawa's last win was actually here in the Super Cup, the Japan Super Cup, back in February 2022. The last win against Kawasaki Frontale. Sides will meet again on the final day of the J-League season. Uramovic just guides it back to Thibaut. There's an injury here. Marcinho going down off the ball. A couple of niggly challenges in that first half that incensed the Kawasaki Frontale bench. They felt that Kaneko possibly should have deserved a yellow. That was Shibato, the man who came on at half-time with a challenge. I think he just caught Marcinho in the back with his knee. It's a stadium here that holds around 26,000. They always get good crowds in here. Of course, big crowds in at the Saitama Stadium as well for Urawa. There were just under 20,000 for the first leg 4 days ago. And Marcinho is still struggling here after that knee in the back from Shibato. Shibato's another experienced player, another player that's been at Urawa all his career except for one season. Last year he was on loan at Mashida Zelvia. Hasn't only featured in one J-League game this season. Has been coming back from injury. Shibato did play in the last match. 1-0 win over Albirex Niigata. Give him a couple more minutes, I think, unless the coach decides to make the change. Ten Miyagi could possibly be the man to replace Marcinho. Urawa desperately trying to get themselves back into this game. Miura. Ball into the box, it almost finds its way through to Erison. Good defending, and they've managed to prevent the corner as well. Urawa better defending that time. Still struggling a bit here, Marcinho. Coach just inquiring, I think, if he's going to be okay to continue. Make any changes at half-time. Kawasaki Frontale, maybe understandably so, having got themselves in front, and the 11 he started with tonight had a pretty good first 45 minutes in containing Urawa. We will see changes, I'm sure, in the second half. We mentioned game management, and that's what it'll be for Kawasaki. Lovely ball inside, Marcinho. Outside of the foot once again. Still Marcinho. Wasn't clipped, or he almost fell into the path of Erison. Had to get his hands out of the way. And eventually the shot goes flashing across goal. I just wonder whether there was a clip there on Marcinho. Or was he offside? I think he may have been offside. The flag obviously doesn't go up straight away. Until the move ends, he almost fell into the path. Erison was desperate to try and get the shot in. Eventually the ball going wide. There was a corner. Slight deflection on its way through. Wakizaka offside. Coming back from an offside position there, the Kawasaki captain. Both sides back to J-League action next weekend. It's an away trip for Kawasaki Frontale to Yokohama Marinos, the neighbouring state. Big local derby for them. There's a late challenge from Erison, which is going to earn a ticking off from the referee, that's all. Danilo Boza. Ishihara. It's been a great atmosphere, as it often is at Japanese games. Nicely done by Kaneko, who managed to keep that one in play. Misui. Matsuo. Just too high, Thibaut. Wasn't taking any chances there. So Nakajima, in fact, that had the shot. The man who scored that goal in the first game. Clever movement off the ball to find himself some space, and just a fraction too high. Very similar to the shot that he had that Thibaut saved in the first game. Just fingertipped the ball over the top. It's a promising sign from Urawa with the half-time substitute getting a shot in on goal. Haven't had too much to cheer tonight. Came back off Asahi, might get a second chance. Nakajima once again. Flex off Kawahara. Komori. Ishihara. Nice spell of pressure again from Urawa. But we need something on the end of it. Shibato floated in all the way to the back where Matsuo was arriving. This is better though. Defended Uramovic, who was alive to that danger. You always got to watch those players sneaking around the back. Those long balls into the box. It's whipped in towards goal. Thibaut pushes it away. It's almost gone in directly from the corner. I don't see too many Olympic goals. That was almost one. Thibaut had the presence of mind just to check his position. Kaneko. Floated in again, but too long this time. Matsuo again at the back post, but couldn't head it back across. Here's the corner. Great bend on that, and Thibaut, that's a very good save in the end, because that was going in directly. Pushed it onto the bar, in fact. He's making a difference, Nakajima. Marcinho's game is over. Here's the change that we possibly preempted when he had that little injury. Ten Miyagi coming on. Started the first leg. Gets just over half an hour here in the second leg with his side leading by a goal to nil. Erison. Here is Ten Miyagi. Start good pass. Played Ito. Akizaka. Ito. Two goes at that one, Kawahara. Urawa managed to get the ball away. Second time of asking. Good turn again. Nakajima. Good defending though that time from Asahi. Took the ball away cleanly. It's really competitive in midfield now, as you'd expect. Through again, Suo. Look at the shot in. More defending by Uramovic. Erison just rides that challenge of Boybra. He's still going here. He's up against Danilo Boza. Erison straight to the goalkeeper. Did have more of the ball in the first half of Urawa, and it's a similar kind of pattern in the second half at the moment, but not really doing too much with it in terms of pressuring Tebo's goal. That corner was probably the best and the closest they've come since a very early shot from Kamori that was straight at Tebo in the first half. Danilo Boza. That goal disallowed as well by Kamori. Kaneko. Suo, lovely ball, and nicely taken down as well. Takes on Wormerskirchen. Yasui. Danilo Boza. Kaneko. Good defending, Miura. With a header, he's won most things in the air tonight. The Croatian. The pressure's still on his side here though. Matsuo. Yasui. Naganuma. Better looking ball in again. Uramovic is there with another good solid header. Lakizaka. Now they can move the ball, and of course Urawa will start having to commit more players forward, which will leave a few gaps at the back here for Kawasaki to exploit. And with a striker like Erison, that's just what you need. With the game's first yellow card, and here's the game's first yellow card. Kamori a little bit over-exuberant there, trying to get back to win things back for his team. Yamamoto, too far ahead of Erison though. Straight through to Shisaku. Kawasaki, of course, more than anybody will be aware of the focus and the concentration they need to keep. It's not just a 90-minute game these days, as Urawa found in the first leg. Both sides have scored late goals of late. 95th minute equaliser from Ito in the first leg. He scored in the 95th minute against Nagoya Grampus to seal a dramatic 4-3 win after that game was levelled up at 3-3. And then Marcinho got a goal in the 100th minute against Mashida Zelvia. They were already leading 4-3 in that one. It wrapped up a 5-3 win just to make sure. Danilo Boza. Played by Miura. from Danilo Boza to win the ball back. Kaneko. Mache scores it, very animated down on the sidelines, looking for his side to move the ball around here. They're not finding too many spaces at the moment. It's very good defending from Kawasaki Frontale. So 2019, Kawasaki Frontale won the J.League Cup. They beat Hokkaido Consadole in the final. 3-3 draw, 5-4 on penalties. Actually knocked Urawa out in the quarterfinals in that campaign as well. To battle hard to keep their lead at the moment. Ishihara. So 10 Miyagi, that'll be another corner. A bit more pressure here. Thibaut's goal. Leading a bit of a charmed life at the moment. Great away following. Not too far for them to travel, of course. Forward for this one. Another in-swinging corner. Doesn't miss out the man at the front post. Erison got the header on it, missed by Yasui. Kaneko found the room for the shot, but it was a little bit lazy looking strike at the ball, really. Fired it well over the top. No real trouble for the goalkeeper. That will, I think, be the drinks break or the water break in the second half. Still very warm here. It's 30 degrees, I think, when the game started. But they've certainly looked a little bit more lively up front with Nakajima since he came on. Man, he scored the goal in the first leg. But at the moment, Kawasaki Frontale have managed to keep their goal intact. They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 6 matches. Last clean sheet was against Sagamiha in the Emperor's Cup when they lost on penalties. It was Nakajima's shot right at the start of the second half. What an introduction that would have been to the game. Fractionally too high. Can he be the hero again, I wonder? He's got a quarter of the game to go. I would imagine this is the sort of time in the game as well. We'll probably start seeing a few more substitutions. 23,214 in the stadium, so not too far away from a capacity, as we said, 26,000. Stadium that was initially open back in the 60s, was expanded and modernised in the 90s, and then again in 2015. Used to also host games from Tokyo Verdy and Consadole Sapporo as well, but solely the home of Kawasaki Frontale these days. Kept in here by Ten Miyagi, and he's kept in. It's a run at Ishihara. Erison. It's a heavy touch though. Urawa given possession straight back to the hosts, and that's the last thing they want to do when they need to get a goal to get back into the game. Would be extra time and possibly penalties if it finishes all square after 90 minutes. Temiagi. Free kick. Flimsy challenge. To see another change here from the Urawa Red Diamonds. Maybe Isaac Kiesa-Tellin, the Swede that's coming on for a debut. Foul, is it? Right on the edge of the box. The referee tried to allow the advantage for Erison. It was a good save, but when he has brought it back for the free kick. Again, not really positive enough in that central midfield area. Urawa, there was the foul by Hoybratton. Erison tried and did manage to get the shot in, but it was well saved. It was a good run. Maisie again from Ito. He does draw the fouls. He's a tricky player to play against. Hoybratton, just that hand on the shoulder bringing him down. It was a half chance for Erison, who very nearly found a way through. It would have been a good vantage played by the referee, but presence of mind to bring it back for the free kick. More work for Shisaku to do here to get the wall organised. Saka and Miura are over the free kick. As unusual, two men kneeling in front of the wall. As well, up and over, inside of the post and out. Inches away from a second goal, Kawasaki Frontale. It was Wakizaka, got the ball up and over the wall, but couldn't quite bend it inside the post. Shisaku could only watch it and know how lucky he was, and their reaction says it all. A second goal would really have put them in the driving seat at this stage of the game, but inches away. Here come the changes. So it is a debut for Tellin, who has just joined the club from Malmo. 86 goals in 196 appearances for Malmo. Has also come on. Matsuo and Naganuma are the players that have gone off. So 4 changes made now by Urawa Reds. Tellin did actually play for Malmo in their Champions League qualifier just a couple of months ago before making the move to Japan. Chance for him tonight to make a name for himself if he can get his side back into this. So he's got a great goal scoring record, as we said, in Sweden. This is his first touch. Away by Sahi. Danilo Boza's header. Temiagi. That's handball. Jay Scorza was quickly appealing for that one. Loans at Bayer Leverkusen and Anderlecht, among others in the past. He has played at a good level in Europe, Tellin. Top scorer in the Swedish league 3 years ago with 16 goals. But this is his debut, hasn't featured in the J-League yet. Kaneko. Floated in again, Tellin's there! What an introduction! Scores on the second touch in his debut and gets Urawa Reds back into the game. And when you need that little bit of experience to come off the bench, well, Urawa have found just that. The first time Aramovic really has looked threatened, Thibaut beaten, and just minutes into his debut, Isaac Kiesa-Tellin gets the equaliser. Great finish, got right across Uramovic. And that is a real striker's goal, a real centre-forward finish. And we're back to all square. Finally, those fans behind the goal have something to cheer. Well, it really was a great touch. And we're back to all square on the night, all square on aggregate. Inspired substitution from Matcha Scorza. Kawasaki have made a double change as well. Zeki and Romanic have come on. Harrison's gone off, so too has the captain, Laki Zaka. Here come Urawa. That goal has lifted the spirits. Those fans behind the goal who deserve a goal for their efforts in keeping the noise levels up have been rewarded. Still a lot to play for, though. Tellin. Tellin again, just managed to nick the ball away. Kaneko. Ishihara. Good looking ball in. It's kept in play this time and then hooked away by Ito, but well, they look to change sides since Tellin's come on, giving them a different dimension up front. Boza. Kaneko. By Nakajima. That was a heavy clash of heads. It was Danilo Boza that's come in on that one to try and keep things moving forward. Hopefully both will be okay. Looked at a little bit of a heavy collision. Well, food for thought for Shigetoshi Hasabe, who saw his side get that late equaliser. That's actually Shibato, the substitute, that's made the challenge. Both players okay, that's good to see. There's the ball in again. Movement from the striker just to get across his man. Uramovic hasn't remotely been beaten in that sort of position all night. Dream start. Miyagi. Losing his man, trying to squeeze that out the near post. I think the goalkeeper might have dropped that out for a corner, but the ball stayed in. Now Urawa on the move again. Kojima. Easy caught. So there's no contact. Miyagi, away by Ishihara. Nice little shimmy from Kaneko. Tellin up ahead of him. Ura's header. Shibato. Ishihara. Good block, Miyagi back on defensive duty. For the change. It's the man who normally wears the captain's armband coming on, Sakine for Kawasaki. And Komori is the man going off for Urawa, sorry. It was Sakine's pass that created that opening goal for Nakajima in the first game. Did start at fullback, but played in a more advanced role, a little bit more into that game in the first leg. Telling's little flick header will be kept in play by Sakine. Nakajima. Kaneko on the ball back, still going Kaneko. Stopped in the end. It's Sahi that's taken over the captain's armband in the absence of Lakizaka. Wide by Yasui. Wide by Uramovic. Just off the ball behind Sakine. Yasui. Sakine continued his run forward. Skirkin gets the ball away, but it's coming back at Kawasaki. Sakine, he's not busy since coming on. Hoybrook. Sakine on the chase again, but Uramovic easily able to let that one run away. I feel a little bit happier about things now. 9 minutes to go. We could be heading for another 30 minutes unless either of these sides can get through. Just scores up. To see that things have finally gone his way in the second half. Telling on the chase. Uramovic just recovered in time to come across and make the challenge. Wanted a free kick. Very remote is a bit interested. Just can't seem to find a winner between these two sides. As we said, the last 3 games have been drawn. Injury here. This possibly is from that clash of heads a moment or so ago. Have made all 5 substitutions now. Mattia scores it. Unless this is a concussion injury or a head injury, sorry. We'll see in a moment. Nothing is beyond you. That's the mantra they stand by, and well, it's got them back into the game at 1-1. Erisson's penalty in the first half. Equaliser from Tellin with literally just his second touch in Japanese football, putting his side back on level terms. Maybe a little bit of concern here, of course, the officials don't take any chances with head injuries. A little bit groggy at the moment, but there were certainly some thumbs up and just holding off on the sidelines. And we'll see what transpires here. Shibato that was involved in that clash of heads. Kaneko wriggles away from his man. Still going here, Kaneko. Sakine out wide, telling through the middle. Nakajima! Across the face of goal. It's been a much better second half from the Urawa Red Diamonds. Another change here for Kawasaki Frontale. Tasha Bernarda, another player that started that first leg, is coming on. To be Kawahara that's going off, so another fresh pair of legs in midfield. Found by Tallinn. Has the job of keeping Romaric quiet. Romaric has got around behind him here and managed to keep the ball in play. Just got away from his man, and the better of Ishihara. It's gone for a corner. Who joined on the 2nd of August from Vojvodina in Serbia. Plenty of black shirts forward. Flicked at the near post, but flicked over the top and comes to nothing for Kawasaki. Suffer a heavy home defeat in the J-League 2 games ago against the Vispa Fukuoka by 5-2. Mura's header by Danilo Boza. Miyagi. Yamamoto. Ito. He could become a match winner again. Oh! Well, that answers that question. Yes, he can. You cannot stop him scoring at the moment, Tatsuya Ito. And he's fired in another stunner from the edge of the area, and that could be the goal that puts Kawasaki into the semi-finals. That late equaliser in the first leg, late winners in the J-League, and is that another late winner in the Levain Cup? Brilliant strike once again, made by Yamamoto's vision. Look at the space, they just backed off Urawa. Flick the ball back inside, and you won't see many better finishes than that. Only had eyes on that top corner, and it took a slight deflection actually. Just looped up there off Shibato. But what a goal. It's lit up the stadium. It's lit up this Levain Cup quarter-final. And Urawa now have to dig deep in the time that remains if they want to get back into this to take us into extra time. What's the reaction? Stunning. Kaneko. Kaneko trying to weave his way through, and he's won the foul. Uramovic wasn't convinced it was a free kick. There was the challenge, there was contact. Uramovic didn't feel that it was a foul, but it has been given. Now they need to keep their defensive discipline here, Kawasaki Frontale, because Urawa won't stop. It looks as though Nakajima is over this free kick. We know how well he can strike a ball as well. Nakajima's there. Panova! Oh, it's gone in! It is Nakajima. Anything Kawasaki can do, Urawa can do better. And as we cross into stoppage time, the man who scored the opening goal in the first game has got the equaliser here, Shoya Nakajima, to make it 2-2. 3-3 on aggregate. Somehow got this up and over. Look at the bend on that, off the underside of the bar and in. Wonderful goal. Well, two stunning goals, 3-3 on aggregate. He's only scored one in the J-League this season. He's got two in the last two matches in this competition now, Nakajima. 9 minutes added time. Maybe there's time for a winner still without the extra 30 minutes. Uebo Shisaku. Danilo Boza. Given away cheaply again by Hasahi. Ogiwara. Uramovic has picked up a yellow card, probably for his protestations about the goal, because he didn't even think it was a free kick and they've punished them for it. First yellow card of the game. Kaneko. Danilo Boza. Hoybratton. By Asahi, possibly didn't need to clear that one away. It looked like it was going through to Thibaut, but there was probably no call, so the defender did the right thing. Tellin waits in the middle, but it's a poor cross sailing out of play. Kojima didn't get that one right. Well, Ito must have thought that goal was going to be a stunning winner. Tellin earlier got the equaliser. What a second half it's been. Harrison's penalty put Kawasaki in front at the break. Romanic. Tossing away with Ishihara. Good battle between those two. Free kick goes the way of Urawa though. Hoybratton just managing to keep possession. Given away. He gave away the first goal really, with certainly the challenge for the penalty. Here come Kawasaki. Ito. Blocked by Hoybratton. They're just getting themselves into a bit of trouble there. Kawasaki. He's still a danger. Ito came in for a start tonight. Looks like he'll play the 90 minutes plus now. Maybe extra time as well. Corner to Kawasaki Frontale. Wonderful atmosphere. To Miyagi with a delivery. Urawa will send the ball straight back out to him. Back behind the ball for Urawa. Put away by Hoybra, no nonsense. Ito. Here he goes again. No way through this time. Shibata that managed to get the block in. Still that ball bobbling around. It's come off an Urawa defender, so the pressure's still on here for Kawasaki Frontale. Over half the added time has been played. Nervous times on the benches as well. Shigetoshi Hasabe and Mache scores up, pacing their technical areas. Down by Uramovic. Away by Nakajima. Kawasaki looking to keep the pressure back on with Miura. Uramovic. He's offside. Just straight into an offside position there. Kaneko just managed to get that across, but he took a slight deflection which took all the pace off the ball. Comfortable for Tebo. Pass into the gap, there's a little bit of space here. It's a chance. Ozeki didn't really compose himself or set himself for the shot. Long ball over the top again. There's another clash of heads. Temiyagi this time. There's Ogiwara down as well. Will be a little bit of extra added time. Looks like just a bit of blood there on the side of Ogiwara's head as well. We are, it would appear, heading for an extra 30 minutes here. So the last 3 games between these sides have been drawn. It's a free kick from Nakajima. crowds have been magnificent, as they always are, both getting behind their teams, both looking for that little bit of extra spark that they need. One or two tired legs out there as well from the players that have played the full 90 minutes. So it is very hot here, 30 degrees. Urawa has been bandaged up. Thibaut has been well beaten for both goals. First one from Tellin. Second one, that free kick from Nakajima. Bandage going on the head of Ten Miyagi as well. There was the opening goal. Erisson's penalty after Wakizaki had been brought down in the box by Danilo Boza. Mistake at the back. Then the equaliser. The new boy, Tallinn, brilliant finish. Getting in front of Uramovic to stab that one home into the bottom corner. Then up stepped Ito once again. Another stunning goal to add to his CV. With anything he can do, Nakajima can do better with the free kick. Look at the bend on that, off the underside of the bar and in. 2-2, 3-3 on aggregate. And we're heading for extra time. But we do know that Kawasaki Frontale score a lot of late goals. So just a question of another 3 or 4 minutes, I would imagine, to be added by the referee for that head injury. Erisson and Marcinho both on the bench, having started the game. He must have thought for a long time, well, he must have thought for a few minutes it would be the winner. Came late in the game. Ito's goal. Literally, what, 2-3 minutes later, it was cancelled out by Nakajima's free kick. Both players off the field for a moment. Ito. Wonder how long the referee will add. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see. Danilo Boza did well. Kawasaki's ball, much to Urawa's frustrations. Miura. Well cut out again, Danilo Boza. Well, there is the whistle. There wasn't too much time added on by the referee for that head injury, so we are heading for 30 minutes extra time. Great introduction to Japanese football from Kisa Tellin, the Swede. But at full time, it's Kawasaki Frontale 2, Urawa Red Diamonds 2, 3-3 on aggregate. Extra time will follow. Be a few minutes here for the players just to gather their thoughts and get some instructions from the coach. Nothing Tibu could do with either of the goals. Well, still a problem here for Shibato, who picked up that head injury in the first half. Went down injured for a second time, managed to carry on, but, well, if there's any danger, he won't take any chances. Here's the goal that got Urawa back into the game. They needed a spark, and they found a spark. Isaac Kisa Tellin. But not man. Ito has really added to his stock this season. 7 goals in the J-League. Scored in both legs of the tie, scored that 95th minute equaliser at Stadium Saitama. But Nakajima, well, he stepped up again when needed. Don't think he could quite believe he managed to squeeze that one home. Smiles all round, but, well, those smiles quickly now turning to the more serious faces of the thought of a 30-minute, two 15-minute periods. We said this would be a lot about game management. And that should be the case. The physios working their magic in the few moments they have between the end of the 90 and the start of extra time. Possibility of penalties. Both these sides have won this competition in penalty shootouts, but well, they won't want it to come down to that tonight, you would feel. It does become a bit of a lottery, and there's always got to be a hero, there's always got to be a villain in a penalty shootout. Let's see what both these sides can do. Extra time periods invariably don't produce many goals, but we'll see. There's some quality players out there. There are players we've already seen know exactly where the net is. That man there's one of them, Nakajima. Final huddle, final few words. 30 frantic minutes coming up, you can be sure of that in this Levain Cup clash. Place in the semi-finals up for grabs. Will it be Kawasaki Frontale? Will it be Urawa Red Diamonds? The next half an hour will tell. To make another substitution because of the extra time. So Shibato, who came on as a substitute, has gone off. And Kubo has come on. Started the first leg. Tomoko Kubo. Gets us underway. Urawa Red Diamonds in a chain strip of white tonight. Kawasaki also wearing a chain strip of all black tonight. They normally play in a lighter blue. Interesting to see the tactics employed by both coaches during this period of extra time. It always takes you back to those days when we had golden goal extra time, when the first goal would win, or silver goal extra time, where if it was scored in the first half, you'd go through to half time. Nobody really wanted to make any mistakes, and the extra time periods were often pretty dull affairs. But now, if you do fall behind, you do still have time to get back into the game. It's a free kick going Kawasaki's way. Tashi Bernardo, who came on in the second half, started the first leg. Asahi has the captain's armband on now after Wakazaki was substituted as well. Then the Skirkin forward. Ten Miyagi. Good play from Ogiwara, who himself picked up a head injury, along with Ten Miyagi towards the end of the extra time period. Urawa, good block by Uramovic. was his challenge for the free kick, or that gave the free kick away, rather, that led to the second goal. Picked up a yellow card for his protest with the referee as well. It's too far away. First side to show in extra time. Just too high. There's a high challenge, maybe a free kick. So both the captains read out a message about respect at the start of the game, and the game has been played in a good spirit. Just one yellow card for Uramovic for complaining, but not seen too many bad tackles. Shikitoshi Hasabe. I just wonder whether both these sides would have actually prepared for penalties in this. Coming towards the tail end of the Japanese league season. 10 games to go in the J-League. It's under pressure, the goalkeeper. It's given away to Ten Miyagi. Here's a real chance. Brilliant recovery. Ozeki's shot was blocked. It was a mistake originally. Now, is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Second penalty to Kawasaki Frontale. Shisaki made a real error, then recovered to make the save. But then it was Sakine that made the challenge. And again, it's Ito that's won the penalty this time. And he's saying he didn't touch him. We'll see possibly from this angle. Yeah, there's the contact. And they open the scoring from a penalty. Erison has gone off. He's the man who won the penalty. And if he's not scoring goals, he's winning big decisions for his team. A real chance here in the first half of extra time. It's going to be penalty to Kawasaki at the same end, with those Urawa fans behind the goal. Shisaku was well beaten by Erison for the first penalty. Here we go, another stutter in the run-up. He sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Ten Miyagi from the spot. And Kawasaki Frontale lead for a third time in the game. Well, Ito's pace has caused plenty of problems. There's that stutter, just trying to put off the goalkeeper. And again, he went the wrong way. Went the same side Erison went to. High up, really good, well-taken penalty by Ten Miyagi. 3 goals in the J-League this season, and now gets 1 in the Levain Cup as well. It's been a thrilling game. 5 goals on the night. And that late finish, late equaliser in the first leg. Kawasaki Frontale leading 4-3 on aggregate now. But Urawa have shown how resilient they've been throughout the 90 minutes tonight. Hoybratton. Clearance by Shisaku. That's too long though. Tebo won't it'd be any great rush to pick this one up. And if they are going to go through tonight, Urawa, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Tellin on the chase. Tebo able to gather. We're going to see Junpei Hayakawa coming on. Only 19 years of age. He's only made one appearance in the J-League this season. Because the sides do get an extra substitution in extra time. Here come Kawasaki again, looking to try and put this game beyond their opponents now. Ozeki. Floated into the box, but just too much on it. We are going to see the change now from Urawa. Kaneko is the man that's gone off. Hayakawa, who actually scored his first senior goal back in the 2023 J-League Cup against Shonan Bellmare. Sakine. Kojima. Danilo Bozo. Hoybratton. Kojima. No way through. Those Kawasaki Frontale midfielders at the moment. Ogiwara. Danilo Bozo. Good play, bit of space here for Ten Miyagi. There's a little nudge in the penalty area, still it's not cleared. Ozeki. There might have been a possible little nudge in the back there. VAR might just have a check of that one, but Urawa managed to get players back behind the ball. It was a brilliant run again from Ten Miyagi, trying to find Romanic in the middle. Here's Ogiwara. Hoybratton. Hayakawa, first touch for the substitute. Lifted in again towards Tellin. Didn't get over the top of it. And he's come off the defender. And he's a real danger if they can get the ball into him. That's, I'm sure, why Maciej Scores has brought him into the club. It's a lovely cross. It just came off Uramovic. Little joke between them as well, but no joking at the moment. Corner to defend here. Out of the way as far as Ogiwara. It's a poor ball. Really needed to take a lot off that one. 2.5 minutes to go in the first period of extra time. The man that won the penalty, the second penalty that is, in extra time. Scored a great goal as well. Hammered away by Danilo Boza. Uramovic just been fouled by Tellin, wins the free kick. Both those players new to their clubs, as we mentioned earlier. Uramovic looks as though he's settled nicely into life at Kawasaki. Although his debut, Uramovic didn't go particularly well. He was in that 5-2 defeat to Avispa. Romanic. Heavy touch gives the ball straight back to Urawa. Maybe a free kick. Play Bratton. Danilo Boza's gone forward up to the edge of the area. He's the intended target. Tellin's in there just behind him. It's Uramovic taking no chances. There's someone else gone down with a head injury. It's Asahi Sasaki. Just took a knock on the back of the head. I think he'll be okay though, the captain, and the acting captain now. Coming towards the end of the first period of extra time. Kawasaki Frontale managing to get the early goal from the penalty. Uramovic once again taking responsibility for marking Tellin. Hayakawa with the corner. Whipped in again towards Tebo. Good solid punch away. Hayakawa with a second chance to put the ball back in here. Whipped in again, it's a lovely ball in. Just too high. Nakajima. Ogiwara. 4 white shirts in the middle still. Ogiwara gets it back. Tellin almost falls for a Kubo, and eventually Kawasaki managed to get the ball away as the referee blows the whistle for the end of the first period of extra time. That was the penalty from Ten Miyagi that gave us that early goal 6 minutes into the extra time period after Ito had been brought down in the box. So 15 minutes for Urawa to get back in, 15 minutes for Kawasaki to hold on. They lead 3-2 at halfway in extra time, 4-3 on aggregate. Will be fairly quick turnaround, just a few minutes. Injuries for the medical staff to deal with tonight. Here's that challenge on Ito that led to the penalty. And Ten Miyagi, well, the bandage didn't bother him with the penalty. Went the same way as Erison. Goalkeeper again going the wrong way. been a really good competitive match from both these teams. Both should be applauded really for the way that they've gone about their business. I wondered what the second leg would hold. One final huddle for each team, 15 minutes away. One of these teams from a place potentially 15 minutes away, unless we go to penalties, of course, for a place in the Levain Cup semi-finals. We continue to live in hope. Brilliant following. Can that man come up with something special in the last 15 minutes, Nakajima? Well, I'm pretty certain that Kawasaki have made their 6 changes. They're trying to make another one. They're trying to bring off Ito to bring on a defender. But the 4th official, I think, is telling them that they've actually used all their substitutions up, which I thought they had as well. They used 5 in the 90 minutes, and they made the extra change in extra time. There's a bit of arguing going on about this at the moment. I think they are agreeing that they maybe haven't. So obviously the 4th official didn't get his numbers right. I didn't get my numbers right, Maynard. How about? Ito goes off. And Tinabe comes on. Well, this game has gone one way then the other. You don't assume just anything at the moment. Ito's had another brilliant game tonight. You obviously feel that you don't need him on the field at the moment. So Tanabe coming on, who is usually a right back. There is another change. They had only made 4 changes at Kawasaki. Ten Miyagi's gone off as well now. So this is the extra change that they're allowed in extra time. This is their 6th substitution. Kanehashi coming on. They've done another player that's only played once in the J-League this season. Asahi. Miura. I think that's a goal kick. It just flicked out off Miura. He's going down all over the place at the moment. It was Danilo Boza that was involved. Uramovic down as well. Here comes the free kick. Good defending again. Romanic back on defensive duty. Hayakawa. Tibor been asked to come by Wilmer-Skirken, and Julia obliges. Well, apart from the goal and that header that deflected over the bar, Tallinn hasn't seen too much of the ball, particularly in extra time, and you wonder whether he's not Urawa's best outlet of trying to get another goal back into this game. And again towards Danilo Boza. Looks like he's been pushed up forward now to add a little bit more of an aerial presence for Urawa. This could be a long 5.5 minutes for Kawasaki Frontale. Tallinn is given a free kick away, and he'll get a yellow card as well. Overuse of the arm, I think, just caught Uramovic with the elbow. So first yellow card of the night for Urawa. A goal and a card to go on his debut for Tallinn. How they'd love to get some silverware on the shelf, Kawasaki Frontale, this season. Maybe a foul on Hoybratton. This would mean that Urawa would only have the league to focus on. They're 7 points behind Kyoto Sanga, the leaders at the moment. Kyoto are the leading scorers in the league with 52. The next nearest challengers to them are Kawasaki Frontale, who have 50 in the J-League. They've already proved in this game that they've got goal-scoring power. 3 tonight. It's punched away by Tebo, just got there before Tallinn. Hayakawa. Ogiwara. Still time for Urawa, blocked by Tashi-Banada. Just enough on it from Yamamoto. Everybody by Romanic back behind the ball at the moment for Kawasaki. He'll be low once again. Here's a good turn, takes a deflection. Good defending. You can see what it means to those Kawasaki players. It was Sakine. Managed to stay on his feet, got the shot in, it was blocked by the shins of Kamihashi. He's gone for a corner though, still pressure on that Kawasaki Frontale goal, whipped in again, headed away by Tanabe. Straight into the arms of the goalkeeper this time. Every second, every chance he's greeted with a sigh of relief now from the home fans. Time running out for Maciej Skorza. Touch of cramp just creeping in there for Yasui, who's not actually been on the field that long. Okubo to Ishihara. It's well defended, but again, Ishihara a little over exuberant in trying to win that one back and gets a yellow card. Ishihara, who's dropped in at right back, allowing Sakine to play a little bit further forward now. That was a lovely challenge initially there, as they've just left the foot in. Was it a naughty one? Yellow card given. Good challenge by Miura. Just under 6 minutes to go. Kawasaki Frontale still leading 3-2. The penalty from Miyagi scored in extra time. Harrison with a penalty got scoring underway. Shisaku will just look to get this one as far forward as possible. Flick on towards Telly. Just took it away from him, away by Asahi. Telly's headed down again. Asahi once again there with the clearance. Lofted long. Thibaut came out quickly. Again got the punch ahead of Tellin. Ishihara. Sakine. Ball into the box once again. Took a deflection off Tellin. And it just loops up into the arms of Thibaut. Well, the shot wasn't caught cleanly by Akubo, but it flicked off Tellin. Could have easily sent that spinning past the goalkeeper. Good say pair of hands though. Stays at 3-2. Defended again, Urumovic. There's some tired legs out there now among those Kawasaki Frontale defenders. Oh, Ishihara. Sotomiura going together again. Nearly there. A good block, no foul. Pesci Bernarda. Sakine almost jumped into him there rather than the block coming the other way around. It looks as though Tellin's first goal in Japanese football is going to count for nothing at the moment. Still time though. Here's the intended target once again, headed away by Asahi. Hayakawa. Yamamoto's header. Hammered away, anywhere will do really. Romanic all on his own up front for Kawasaki. Urawa diving header away, got plenty of distance on that as well. Been solid at the back tonight for his new team. Another change. Kobayashi coming on for Ozeki. Goalkeepers come out and didn't get anything on that. Still can't find a way through. Tellin. Tebo came and didn't clear that one. Fortunately, his defenders in front of him managed to do the job. Good challenge, Ishihara. Final minute. I thought we've almost played the final minute. Danilo Boza bustling and hustling and gets it back to Ishihara. One last chance maybe. In by Nakajima. Oh, good save, Thibaut. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Looked as though that might just loop over him, but he somehow managed to backtrack and get his fingers to it. Sakine with a chance. Thibaut with the save. Brilliant ball in from Nakajima. The header was looping. And Thibaut acrobatically got back to tip that one over. What a moment that would have been. For Urawa, not to be though. Goalkeeper keeps Kawasaki in it. They just have collided with the post as well. Thibaut. So close. Just a minute added on, but we've already crossed that already because of this injury. There's that looping header again. Covered a lot of ground to get back to that Thibaut. This surely will be the last kick of the game, the last chance for Urawa to take us to a penalty shootout. Needs must. Shisaku has come forward, the goalkeeper. This will be it. Last kick of the match, you feel. Akubo with the corner. Swinging again, took a touch away. Sakine dodges around his man. Fires it into the chest of Uramovic. Shisaku racing to get back into his goal. Anywhere will do. Well, it really has been a wonderful game of football at the Todoroki Stadium. The Levain Cup always has its fair share of dramas. And here go Kawasaki. Surely that ball will just be running to the corner. It won't be running to the corner. Good save by Shisaku and away by Hoibraten. And Miura getting forward from fullback. Fancy wrapping that one up in style then. Good save at full stretch from Shisaku. And there goes the whistle. A hard-fought battle ends with Kawasaki Frontale going into the semi-finals. Erison, Ito and Miyagi, 2 penalties in their 3 goals. Tellin scored a brilliant equaliser to make it 1-1. Nakajima scored a brilliant equaliser to make it 2-2. But in the end it wasn't to be. On the night, Kawasaki Frontale 3, Urawa Red Diamonds 2. 4-3 on aggregate to Kawasaki Frontale. They are into the semi-finals of the Levain Cup for the 2nd successive season.
それでは見事この激闘を制しルヴァンカップ準決勝進出を決めました川崎フロンターレ伊藤達也選手です。おめでとうございます。この激闘を制しました。このサポーターの大きな声援もそれを表していると思いますが、今のお気持ちいかがですか？
そうですね、第2戦ホームで戦えるアドバンテージが、もろに出たというか、スタジアムの雰囲気が、自分たちが勝つような雰囲気を作ってくれてたので、皆さんのおかげです。
その中でご自身は公式戦5試合連続ゴール、さらには最後決勝の PK を獲得するプレーありました。それぞれ振り返っていただきたいんですが、まずはあのゴールどのように振り返りますか？
そうですね、相手にブロックされて、それがうまいこと、枠いって決まったんで、 ちょっとラッキーだったなというか、最近やっぱり点取れてるので、ちょっとラッキーな、感じでした。
そして延長戦に突入した時のPK 獲得、非常に冷静なプレーでしたが、どのように振り返りますか？
PK もらうまでは冷静だったんですけど、最後一番プレッシャーかかる場面を、自分より若い天に任せちゃったんで、本当に天に感謝したいです。
その宮城選手にはどのような思いで託したんでしょうか？
同じポジションでよく一緒に話しますし、彼が、どういう思いで日頃練習してるかとか見てるんで、ちょっと、天にちょっとお願い、ちょっと頼むわって感じで、お願いしてました。
改めてサポーターの皆さん、ものすごい声援を送ってくれました。この声援というのは力になったんじゃないでしょうか？
もうめちゃくちゃ力になって、本当に今日は皆さんで、最後延長戦になりましたけど勝てて本当に嬉しいです。
では次はルヴァンカップ準決勝が控えています。まだ決まったばかりだと思いますが、次に向けて一言お願いします。
次2試合勝てばタイトル取れる可能性がある決勝に行けるので、またレイソルいい相手ですけど、全員で勝ちましょう。
ありがとうございます。伊藤達也選手でした。おめでとうございます。それでは川崎フロンターレ長谷部監督です。まさに激闘を制しました。今のお気持ち聞かせてください。
嬉しいです。
延長戦まで突入する試合となりました。まずは2度追い越されての選手がこの勝ち越せたこの意味というのはどのように捉えていますか？
失点しているようでは、優勝に近づけない、そういうふうに思います。今日のところは勝ちましたけれども、ちょっと失点が多いかなと思います。
しかしこの延長戦激闘を制しました。その延長戦向かう前には選手たちにはどういった言葉をかけていたんでしょうか？
これまでと一緒、自分たちが一つになって、それぞれの役割を全うして、しかも質高く、それが大事だよという話をしました。
1戦目に続いて、そしてこのホームで多くのサポーターが最後まで声援を送っていました。ベンチでそのサポーターの声援というのはどのように感じていましたか？
非常に大きな力になりましたし、何より、選手たちが自分たちでどうにかしよう、その一歩を踏み出せている。その一歩はやはり皆さんの声、応援で、その一歩が踏み出せているので、それが2歩も3歩もゲームの中でも次の試合へもまたその次 そういうふうに、進歩していけたらいいなと思ってます。
そのサポーターとともに戦うルヴァンカップタイトルへの道がまだ続きます。まだ決まったばかりだと思いますが、次戦準決勝に向けて意気込みをお願いします。
しばらく先になるので、またリーグの方でしっかりやって、対戦するその準決勝で、勝ち上がれるように決勝に、いい準備したいと思います。
ありがとうございます。見事なゲームでした。